You know what the topic is?
Hello, Mr. Mawere,
Yeah,
how are you?
hello. How are you? How are you? Have you read?
Ndichangokubata at the end of
Okay, go ahead.
Taurai, go ahead, sir.
The topic for this show, have you read
Ndichangokubata
what
at
is?
the very kind of the very end.
Okay. So,
No, ndago click up a link. Please enlighten me, sir.
Kwama Simba, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Kwama Simba, your voice is not audible.
Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
so we need to, yeah, you are very far from the microphone.
Okay, I think that's better now. Is it better?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, what is the topic?
Mason, how are you, my brother?
How are you, Mukoma Masimba? Murisese, Jerisese.
I'm good. I lost my phone.
Okay. You're still breaking up, my brother. Maybe Murofana kuchinja position ya Muri.
Yeah, you are breaking up.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Mawere, chingoti gaga kuti summary yacho ichi.
All right, so we are just at 4 minutes, 3, 2, 1. Good evening. Welcome to another show. This show is inspired by Mkoma Masimba's book, Rebenzi. Here we are looking at what is life. What is the purpose and meaning of life? And where shall we get wisdom as to what the blueprint of life and its intended operation is? Earlier on, we were talking about choice. What is choice? And what is it that we can do to better understand that liberty is a fundamental right? It's not given by another man. It exists independent of man. That you are born a human being. Once you are born a human being, you are already pre-installed with the engine of life, the power to think and act, the power of ideas, the festival of ideas, the battle of ideas, that absent choice, there is no life. If you separate a human being from his choice, there can't be life. So this is a group mentorship show in which we have a panel under the C2C to be able to interrogate me on this meaning and purpose of life so that we can have a shared understanding of what the promise and challenges of life are. So I'm here to answer not only the questions posed by the two panelists, but also to anticipate some of the questions that ordinarily arise. When we say Bukure Benzi, it doesn't mean there is an idiot here, because the idiot can display his own idiocy without anybody talking about it. When we come into life, we come as equals. None of us comes with a fraction of the promise. If it's 24 hours, it's given equally to all of us in equal measure so that we can use it. So when you say stay in your lane, it means something. Don't mix your business with my business. If I'm in the business of being Benzi, allow me to be Benzi. Charge me on the content of my character and not who you want me to be. So there is no purpose of life that will allow somebody to sit in the wagon of another, judging them even for 1 second or 1 nanosecond. We are here because others judge. Others think they are superior, and their choices are the only choices that exist. Others think they are bad choices. Others will claim injury, even when there is no fact to support the injury, just by somebody choosing to be who they are. Somebody wants to be naked, gets pictures on his own, gets angry at those pictures being shared, but no picture is self-creating. Somebody chose to create a permanent image of that event that was captured. Then they would rather point fingers at others. Somebody dies. Others say it's not death. It's something else. Haven't we experienced all this? Wasted time, squandered time. The Creator's time given for free, being massacred by these pontificators, hallucinators, only to prove nothing. So when we are faced with those choices, when we say let's build a community of shared understanding, some people misconstrue it to say hande kwamawere kunotsvageiko. Knowledge requires an address. Where is the address of knowledge, of free will? It's the human mind, not a group mind. We have yet to see a civilization that collapses our mind so that I can speak for others. That civilization does not exist. And judge Mason. I have no time to judge Mason. So welcome, Mason. This is your show to ask any question that may come, however stupid they are, on this topic. What is life? What is the meaning and purpose of life? So welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. How are you? And good to see you. I have not spoken with you for quite a long time, but good to see you. And you're looking healthy, you're looking good. And bless yourself, sir. Thank you very much for having me today.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah, very interesting topic you've just said, Mr. Mawere. And as much as I respect you, sir, I just wonder if you may allow me to just address a few little things before I ask you fundamental, because it's a very philosophical and deep questions that I think we really need answers to. Mr. Mawere, there's a gentleman just before you finish your show with the Mukoma Masimba. And if I catch it right, I think his name is Munya Shonai, and he did say, I quote and unquote, CIA Mason Arikumatere. I think that's what he said, meaning leave Mason in the comments or do not include Mason here. So this exactly fits in perfectly well with what we are talking about, Mr. Mawere. The equity in life, Mataura eloquently, in very clear terms, in life, it's all about choices. Mataura kuti is there is a free will. Mataura kuti, you make up, you decide what you want, and you decide how you want your life to be. And there is nobody who should be a judge, as you have eloquently said. Saka, Mr. Mawere, my first question I'm going to ask you, and if you can please clarify it for your viewers and listeners, and to me too. Ndeye kuti How do we know that the choices that we are making are the correct choices?
That life is random. You didn't know you were going to be on this show, and I didn't know I was going to be here. So how could I know that is a right or wrong choice? But if time permits, somebody calls me and say, can you give up time to help me better understand, sharpen my ideas? I will be there. Nyikadzino says, what makes you think you have the answers to the questions of life? Did I say that, Mason, you have been here since the start? Did I say I have the answers?
No, sir, you didn't.
But there's a sick mind that will import what I'm saying into their minds and convert it to some other noise that says, I claim to know what I don't know. So, Riz, I don't know what I don't know. But all I can share, as I have been asked by Mkoma Masimba, is to share my own perspective. You don't have to accept it, because I am not God. I was not sent to be able to clarify things, but my insights are shaped by my own mind. I don't speak on behalf of others. I speak on behalf of myself. I don't want to compound it. But the person who asked me to be here is not you. Yet you find it fit to substitute and to subordinate others so that your voice can be heard. So isn't that where the problem is? We have peeping toms of life who just peep at others and get satisfaction. And that's what we have. So go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mawere. So we have arrived at a dilemma, at a crossroad, where we do not know what are the answers to the questions. And,
not we. That's you. Just talk about yourself. It's enough, Mason.
Okay. All right.
Ask the questions that come in your mind.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I do not have I do not have the answers to the questions, because as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Mawere, nobody knows everything. And the gentleman you were answering the question to, you said, Mr. Mawere, you are claiming you know everything. Nobody is the absolute. Nobody is the mind of the all. Nobody is God, so to speak, whether you believe in God or not. So nobody can come to the plate and say, but what we can do, or what I can do, they could inini personally, Brother Mason, I can come up to the plate, I can come forward and say, yes, I'm a fool. And why am I saying I'm a fool? Because I do not know anything. This life that we are in, that I am in, is a journey. It's a journey of a fool. And what am I looking for? I'm looking for enlightenment. I'm looking for awakening. I'm looking for the answers to the mysterious questions, all the questions I never got answers to. So every day I wake up in the morning, I'm always learning. So yes, I'm a fool. I'm a fool. Fool for what? Fool for knowledge. Fool for gnosis. So I can categorically and definitely say that. So Mr. Mawere, my next question, Ndaya Kuti, and this is something that I really needed to know as well. So hopefully you might shed light on it. Ndaya Kuti, can anybody make a judgment of my decisions? Have I got a free will to do what I like to do, regardless if somebody might not agree with what my intentions and what I am, the angle that I'm going to take and what I'm going to be doing? Because obviously, not everybody is going to like everything. So in the choice and the journey and the angle I am taking, somebody might disagree with it. Somebody might not be in line with it. So who is right? Can I go through? Can I execute my things even though we're going to be calling the moral judgment and the philosophical judgment? They could hear, is this right? Is this wrong? What can I do?
Mason,
Yeah, when you-
Mr. Mawere, on a point of order, Mason, I made a choice to be on the street. How did you take it yourself?
I take it as your personal choice, Mkoma Masimba.
And how did you see those who were watching me? What were they saying about that versus you now?
All right. I think I've made it clear in the past, and people were persecuting me. But I said to you, it's your personal choice. You made your own personal decisions, and people should not be playing God. People should be playing moral judge to what your decision is. So you chose your choice, and so it should be respected. You are a mature gentleman who made rational decisions. So your choice is your choice. That's what I said.
So you personally, I'm talking to you right now. Is it a good, is it a good thing, moral good thing, morally good, ethically good, professionally good to leave a wife who is from Zimbabwe too and say, pack my bag, I want to be on the street. You are a brother Mason. How do you take that?
Okay, very good question. Very, very good question. Now, your question is twofold. First of all, I need to know you personally, Mkoma Masimba. I do not know the facts because I deal with facts. As in metaphysics, we deal with facts, and I deal with facts. I do not know the circumstances, the things that led you to make that decision. Was it a mutual decision? Did you shake hands with your wife and say, okay, Mkoma Masimba, you go your way, I go my way? Did you leave? Did she kick you out? I wasn't there, so I do not know the facts behind you leaving your wife. Morally, ethically, now the same question, like I said to Mr. Mawere, who's got the right to be the judge to authenticate what's morality and what's ethics? Who has made that discipline? Who has made that authoritative constitution? This is what you have to abide to.
Mason, right now, I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to everybody, right? So you, Mason, in metaphysics, you want to know the facts.
Mm-hmm.
How far did you go with your research to
Yeah.
get the facts about me choosing to be on the streets?
Okay, very good question. I do not need to be poking my nose on your personal business, Mkoma Masimba, to get to know you. Because me, I'm coming from a metaphysical angle. And if you ask me what's my metaphysical angle, since you're talking to me, Kuti, Inini, I see you as a conscious energy, as a conscious being, as a spirit. And from my understanding, there's only one consciousness, there's only one energy. Saka imimi Mkoma Masimba, you make your own personal decision. I'm not going to be asking you and judging you whether your moral decisions is the right or wrong. That's up to you. Those atakapiwa with what you might call the one mind or the absolute, or in the religious terms, they might call it God, or in the Muslim world, they might call it Allah, or in Eastern world, they might call it the Buddha. Okay, so basically, Imim Mkoma Masimba, you made your own personal decisions. I'm not going to tell you what's morally and what's not wrong. There's only one reality. The one reality is that the totality of the all. Saka imimi, if it makes you satisfy, if it satisfies your heart, whatever you do, so be it. But the only principle I abide to from a metaphysical stance, do not hate and do not harm other person. Whatever that you do, as long as you do not harm and hate other person and impress your own willpower or your own powers on somebody else, see, I do not abide to those principles. Apart from that, it's a free world. Do whatever you want to do.
Listen, you're not answering my question, right? You're telling me when I make a choice, I should not hate other people. I have a mother who is a widow. I had a wife. I have children, right? And you're telling me, whatever you choose, don't hate other people. My mother, she's now sick because of my decisions. My children, they're still young. But the world is asking, what are you doing, Simba? I'm talking to you right now, making to ask you a question. Mason, you were talking to your father. What did you do to your father? You were supposed to make, anyway, Mason, all I'm asking you, the question is, when I make a choice, who is responsible for that choice? What are the impacts of that choice? Who is going to respect my choice? Right?
Yeah.
You chose to do your metaphysics, right? I chose to go on the streets. I'm the opposite of you. But you look nice, you look clean, you look smart, you look very gentleman than me. Because your choice is health-wise. My choice is not health-wise. How come people are surprised? I have a question to you, my brother.
Okay. Excellent question. Now, Madibunza Zunjakawandisa Mukoma Masimba, first of all, I need to address something to you straight away so we don't get any confusion. The body that you're looking at, the face that you're looking at, the pigmentation of my skin, that's not me. This is just an avatar. This is just a body. In metaphysics, we understand, I am a spiritual being. So I'm not this body. This body is just a uniform for me to exist in this physical reality. Saka, do not make any comparisons with my body. This is just a uniform. Saka, the uniform that you have and my uniform that I have, it's not significant at all. It's the quality of your spirituality or your spiritual self. That's number one. Number two, Mukoma Masimba, you say the kuti, okay. If your children are going to be asking, Brother Mason, ndakakuona mtaura na baba wangu and makawa uza kuti imimi, you make your personal choice mukaenda mu street, and Brother Mason, you seem to be alluding and to be saying good pari bo since Mukoma Masimba vaka make my choices. Now I'm going to tell you the same thing that Janambo Taura again. That's a kuti imimi Mukoma Masimba, you know what's morality and what's not moral, right? If you do not know what's moral and what's not moral, then that's up to you. Nekuti inini, I'm not the judge. I'm not the person akanyora kuti the moral of the story or the moral of life is A, B, C, and D. Kana muchiziva, if you yourself kuti makatiza mkazi wenyu, murukusiya vana venyu, and you think that's right, that's your decision. I can't tell you if that's right or wrong. Do decision yenyu, right? And in Mimi, it's going to be your position and your responsibility. They're not my children. They're your children. She's not my wife. She's your wife. It's your responsibility to answer my questions. Why did I leave you as my wife? And why did I leave you as my children? And if you come up with a moral answer, I can justify my actions, then that's so be it. That's you. Because in Nini, Mr. Mawere can say the same thing, I think. I'm not going to speak on his behalf, but I can't tell you what to say to your children. In Nini, what I just know, we were all given free will, a free will to do what's right and what's wrong and to express this physical reality. Saka, again, Ndakudze Mukoma Masimba, Ziri kwamuri, you know what's right and you know what's wrong. You are a grown man. You are almost in your 30s. Saka, you are not a child. I can't tell you what's wrong and what's right. You are the ultimate person to answer those questions.
Okay, Mason, before I give Mr. Moere a chance to speak, I have a brother, Mr. Moere, you taught me about structures and orders. I have a brother here, Kindes Arts. He's helping me on my personal side. In my book, Mr. Moere, I was born with only one brother from my family. His name is Harmony. You spoke to him, Mr. Moere, before. But Harmony akati Mukoma, I love you. But Mukoma mononeza, I give up. Harmony brought me on WhatsApp, right? Then I said, Harmony, don't worry. This is the Book Rebels. I'm not doing 2020. I'll find another Harmony in digital way. I found Tennis Arts. He's here right now watching, right? Tennis Arts is like saying, my brother Simba, your choices. Wala wako, my wako, whatever.
But
Ngoma
Simba, you know, the difficulties we have is if the show is about you, because we had started with the show that is trying to get a better understanding generally of what life is. It doesn't depart from your show. People may perceive you differently as they must. But what is this show about? We only have 4 minutes, and you see that the purpose of the show and what we are discussing is no longer to the script. So a person may not be able to follow 100 years from now. They will say, what is this all about? So if you are talking to people who may not be with us, what is it that you want them to take away?
Is a question directed to me or to me, Mukoma Masimba?
Yeah, same Mukoma Masimba. There's a lot that can be discussed, but what brings us together as a community so that we may be able...
What is Mukoma Masimba saying? What is Mutuma Moere saying? We have 3 people here. What are you saying? What is Mason saying? What am I saying, Mr. Moere?
About what? We said, what is life to you? What is the meaning and purpose of life? If you want to be mentored, then I may be able to give you my insights and you give me your insight so that we share with the rest of the public so that people may be able to take a view on that. Some people say life is a plan and I am the planner of life. Other people say, no, I live life. I don't make life. And I don't have a plan for it. There are different views. But from your lessons of life, you may be able to say, let's grill Mukoma Masimba as a show on what is life. Then we get a panel to discuss that so that you may be put to task about your own views, not my views, not Mason's view, because we all have different experiences. So that's what I thought. We wanted to allow this to be storytelling. And I don't have to ask a question about your life because it's not my life. But surely I can learn from you. How does it feel to be on the street? But the show, we must be able to give guidance for others so that they may be able to follow. What is this about? Why now? Why are we talking about this? That's my perspective.
Mason, it's your show.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Mawere. Yes. Mr. Mawere Mukoma Simba, I'm afraid he's right. Let's not diversify the conversation. Structure. And as you know, it's a social media. Somebody can just log in and they do not know what we're talking about. You know, people might not know what we're talking about. Today, the question and the topic is about life and purpose. That's, I think, is the main topic. And yes, Mr. Mawere Vataura Vanofunga about life and purpose. And if I may, I'm going to tell you my opinion in Inzango from my perspective, from a metaphysical perspective. From my own understanding, Dekuti, life is all about discovering who you are. It's all about discovering the reality. And when we're talking about reality in equity, what is real and what's not real, because we live the world that's around us is a world of appearances, and the way you were brought up, whether in your family, in your society, in your country, the way you were brought up might even have an effect on your perspective of life. Saka, my understanding, Dekudishi, we are all here. It's almost like a theater. It's a theater of what? A theater of dreams, because everything here is a dream world. Mukoma Masimba kwa muri koko ku Australia, I challenge you, kana mukainda to any to the one of the Aborigines, variko koko, and if you speak to one of the elders, Yama Aborigines, if you ask them what is life, and do you know the answer they're going to tell you? They're going to tell you that this world and this life is a dream world. Everything is a dream. Everything is nothing else but a dream. And Mukainda through the Far East, if you go to India, and if you speak to one of the gurus, if you ask them what is life, do you know what they're going to tell you? They're going to tell you this life is just an illusion. It's a Maya. Sakachi, what we are living in this world right now is just a dream world. It's a theater of dreams. But we are on a journey to find our own spiritual selves. Nekuti, our spirit has descended, my spirit basically has descended into matter. Sakachi, I'm now engulfed and entangled into matter, but I need to resurrect the Christ in me, the spirit in me, the absolute in me. Do you know the great awakening or the great resurrection? It's like the moment I resurrect and awaken myself, that you know the ascension. And dochi, do you know that to find out my spiritual self, because we are all spiritual beings. It's like the moment you wake up from this theater of dreams, that is the whole purpose of life, in my opinion, Mr. Mawere and Mukoma Masimba.
You see, when we started, Mukoma Masimba, you had asked the question, Mason, and you have abandoned your own question before it's answered. That is order and structure. So if you ask a question, and we can come back and regroup, and then we learn to build value out of what we are doing. So that the question you asked, you've already forgotten that you had a question. Mukoma Masimba interrupted because you wanted to talk about.
Okay, Kana Muchida party, right? We can close this chapter and Toya for the next half an hour slot. Then we can have a Q&A with Mr. Mawere and Brother Mason. Party, right?
No, I'm saying is you can have Mukoma Masimba wanted to talk about the issues that surround his issues of concern. So you can come back and then go deeper on Mukoma Masimba.
Okay, right. And from what I understand, sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Mawere. From what I understand, Makita half an hour slot for every topic, isn't it?
Not Margaret. What I thought, you may disagree with me, to say, Lord, let's have for the future, a posterity. Let's have things that start and end, so that we don't keep on and on, so that those people who are going to look at this, they don't have to edit it.
Well, if you ask my opinion, I totally 100% agree with you. And attention span, believe it or not, Yamunuga, it's only about 30 to 40 minutes. Saga, that's perfect. And take us to one plan and one segment, 30 minutes and one topic. That's excellent. Saga, yes, I agree with you.
And Mkwama Simba, do you resonate with that?
Well, Mr. Bawere, I had a show with you. It was this show. I hijacked this show. He did not secure a show. He's not talking about me. Can you see, Mr. Bawere? We're talking about leadership here. Listen, this is your show, right? Not my show. Okay? But you allowed me to talk about me on your show. I'm hijacking your show. That's how problems start, Mr. Bawere. Order and structure. May as well supposed to be only point of order. It's my show. But you forgot to say that. He allowed me to talk. I was just trying, Mr. Bawere, to show you how the problem starts in a community. It was his show. And I checked his show, Mr. Bawere.
And he abandoned it.
Yes,
he abandoned this show. But we also hijacked him.
On my show, I never.
Thank you, Mr. Bawere. Mukoma Masimba, if you know, listen, if you know there's order and structure, yeah, why would you want to jeopardize the order and structure that we already had, Mr. Mawere? We were going somewhere. Everything was formalized and it was cordial. It was all mutual and very respectful. Mr. Mawere was answering my questions. Mr. Mawere was listening to what I was saying. Saka Imimi, as a prefect and monitor of this show, Imimi, you are contradicting your own plan. You are the one who is sabotaging your own show, your own platform.
But what he's saying is...
I'll answer, Mr. Thank
what?
Mr.
Why are you
I want to answer,
giving him...
Mr. Bawere, before you.
Okay,
I want to answer,
go ahead.
Mr. Bawere, listen,
yes,
before this show, it's exactly 8:39 p.m. Australia time. He wrote a message on WhatsApp. Mukoma Masimba, how are you, my brother? How can I present a metaphysics show? And I answered, my brother, it's very simple. Are you now linked to the TV? Can you say, do you now have access to the TV? Like they never responded. He's asking me, but I wanted to show him the problem is not in me or Mawere. It is you, Mason. You don't know what you want. I came here selling sympathy. I'm homeless. You see, selling sympathy. But there's no order and structure on your show, Mason. The problem is you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Brozivachi, a bigger man is always a humble man. If you ever heard of that, a bigger man is always a humble man. Okay, I learned it's a lesson learned, a lesson end. Sagachi, moving forward, ndakuziwa what I have to do. Right? How about that?
It's about your metaphysics, right? Please don't allow me to follow you around and waste your time.
Right, okay.
Otherwise, I'll come with a story. What do you Mr. Mawere? I'm homeless. Then you feel sympathy, then you lose strength. That's how communities break.
Right. But mnogoziva kuti isusu tine uhunu, and when somebody is coming, we don't want to be disrespectful because ndokwanisa kuenda kutuka kuti Mukoma Masimba zviri zvamakita zveshe zvekupenga panapa. But I don't want to say that, obviously, do I?
Mr. Mawere, I hope you're learning something here. The most challenge in Zimbabwe, where I was born, where you were born, it's a whole culture. Who disturb order and structure because to disturb everything. Let's be organized. I'm showing you, Mr. Bawere, book events.
All right, I think we have learned from that. So I like Mason for being funny while making an impact to the full show. So Mason,